Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, I'm going to show you some of the very advanced new scaloronics techniques that I've worked out, and whole new technologies are coming out soon that actually move scalar energies, amplify them, etc. Moving away from really what is a dead and stupid and no technical reality called common radionics, which seems to be steeped with the lowest mentality people out there. And of course, nobody has really produced anything but me of any kind of value that's different or powerful. It's really just a bunch of junk, whether it's a few bucks or thousands that are being charged for what is the junk out there made by people that really know absolutely nothing about energies. Now, first of all, we're going to get into today an interesting look at, as I call it, Spartan Herbals. And what this really is a particular type of Greek tea or herb. It's a Greek herb, and this grows wild in Greece, and this is apparently what the Spartans used to use for their many healing. It's supposed to be a great healer. I've never heard of this until recently. It's called, there we go, Organic Green Mountain Tea. Greek Green Mountain Tea. And here's what it looks like. Let's see if I can get a little better picture of it from a little further away. It's interesting looking. I'm going to be doing an extract of this. I'm also going to make it and use it as tea. It's supposed to be great for everything, kind of an echinacea type heal all, build all. And apparently in ancient times, this was used by the Greeks and particularly the Spartans to keep every part of them working properly, virility, health. So it's supposed to be good for everything. As I said, it's something new to me. I don't know if it's under a different name somewhere else. But this is 100% green organic mountain tea. I guess there's the name of it. Tazel. Von you. But this is organic. It comes directly from Greeky land. And it looks very interesting to me. We'll have to find out. I don't know what it tastes like or anything else. I'll probably report back on this. I decided to get some capsules here. And this is always a bad way to buy things because you get very little, usually high cost. Now, this isn't too much. I'm trying to remember exactly this bottle like usual now, which I'll be transferring over into glass soon. The usual stuff about $20. I mean, the stuff is all expensive. The tea was inexpensive. There's a lot there. That's why it's always best to buy things in a raw state and even make your own tinctures at it. Because all you have to do is take this and pour this into a sun tea bottle, or at least fill that sun tea bottle up about a third to a half. Pour a bottle of vodka, or I prefer to use whiskey, and fill it up to the top and let it sit for 3 months, and you've got a tincture for what is very reasonable, which would be equivalent if you bought the tinctures. And I find tinctures work a lot better, would be saving you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's very little work, and all you got to do is let it sit there for 90 days in the alcohol. Shake the bottle twice a week, and you're doing well. Here's what that looks like in a ground form. So it doesn't, it looks like just a green powder. Now, the first thing we're going to do here is we always want to test something. And one of the best ways, the real future is the proper way to do things. And of course, I'm so good with the pendulum that I can just use a pendulum. And of course, it's important that you use good pendulums and that you have the classic type. This is one of the classic types that I sell. Very good. Most people like this metal type. It's got a nice point here that tends to draw energy up or send it out. And of course, balls in your pendulum are very important because that seems to grab energy. So it's very important to have some sort of ball structure with it. All of that is very important to the process, and we do offer those online because, there's lots of pendulums out there, but few of them are really good. You got to find one that works, and generally this is good for everybody when they start off and everything else. I'm moving now into wood because wood is really light, and it can pick up vibrations of the slightest amount. And this is rosewood, which is very sensitive, very light, but it also has these nice big round carvings in it. So this again picks that energy up, and these seem to work really well. Some people may have trouble with light pendulums because they are too light. Now, when you test something, one of the best ways, the proper way to do it, as I said, I can get good readings by just using a pendulum, but you should do things properly, and that means you're going to use a particular. Now, I'm using the old style radionic machine here. We're going to show you how to do that with my new systems that are highly amplified, but we're going to show you the old way here. And here's my other pendulum that I'm going to be offering online soon. I really like this too. It's got that nice big point, and it's got a nice big round bulb here. And I always find that these bulbs or balls, whatever you want to call them, really add to the sensitivity of it. So you'll be seeing this online as well next to the other one. So what you really want to do if you want to do something professionally, and the first thing you want to do is check the energy fields. Now, you've got to have a dial-type machine or one of my boxes. And as I said, this is showing the old style. You need to have the proper laser from us, and you need to have an activator disc. These things don't work without activator disc, people. You just can't get a laser and be able to have the laser pick up the energy to the level. You want to pick up the scalar, you need to have activator discs. You also need an activator disc for your machine, and I always like to amplify it with my tachyon neutrino graviton disc as well. This means you're pulling in more energy to energize what's happening here so that you can get better readings. These just slide under your box. The whole new plate system is the greatest breakthrough in this technology ever since the history of it's been around. Now what we want to do is we want to place, we'll take 2 tablets out. We want to place them on the in plate. This is your in plate. And, let's get back to doing stuff that makes sense. In plate, out plate, witness trend. Ooh, what kind of goomba shit is that? So the whole idea is here's your in plate where your energy goes into the unit, goes through the dials as they are in sequence, and then goes to the out plate, which is also where the energy leaves. So if you wanted to sense the energy, it's going to come out here. This is what idiots would call a rubbing plate. But let's stay out of the idiot realm. Is that possible? Not in radionics, Laboratory. No, that's right. Okay, so you put them under there. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and using this dial here, the number 1 dial, of how do we rate this in terms of its power. But first thing we want to try and do is we want to ask here, is this good in general? Is this positive, negative, or neutral? And there are some things that will have all 3, and we'll talk about that in future lessons. Now, doing radionics properly or scalaronics properly, you need to have the proper equipment, and there's a lot of training for you to do it if you want to do the professional stuff like I'm showing you. My machines are so easy to use now that they have templates that you have no problem using them because there's no dialing you have to do. So you're just sending energy, and very powerful energy, using tube amplifiers and other things. But let's ask, and we've now got it amplified. It's now going through the machine, and it's coming out here thanks to that wonderful laser that's been activated. Is this energy good, clockwise, bad, counterclockwise, or neutral? It doesn't have much of any. Let's see what it says. And you want to watch the spin on this. So we've got a clockwise spin saying that the energy in here is good. And it's a pretty good spin, meaning I would put that about a 6 on the scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how powerful it is. Now, we always ask that to start off with. The other thing you want to do is you want to put your hands here, and you can hold them both just in your hands like this, and you can get a little bit of laser boost. Put them in your hands like this, and you can ask, is this good for me? Now, it's not going to go through the machine. I'm asking, it's going through my entire body now. Is this good for me? Is this herb good for me? And you can see that's a good spin again. We're getting that 7-ish. You know, if the spin is very light, it means the energy's not too great. Obviously, counterclockwise meaning it's bad. If it spins really strong, you're looking at something that's good for you. Now, let's go to dosage. Should I take one? Should I take one a day? And again, I'm getting the habit of putting it. We're asking. It's going through my body now, so that's a pretty good spin. So one a day should do it. Is two a day? What about two a day? And this could change as your needs change. Maybe you're not feeling good. Maybe you need more or less. How about two a day? Is this good? Well, you can see it's saying no. And this is very important because if you take too much of something, it's bad for you, even if it's generally okay for you. So one a day with this is enough. Very important. You also save money that way, but more is not better. If you're taking too much of something, you'll build up an allergy. It could cause problems. So there's all sorts of things going on here. So let's go over here in terms of the fact that the other thing you can ask, which is really important, is will this take care of any kind of problem I have? Will this assist healing to a high level? Because a lot of things are good for you or neutral, but they don't really heal you. Can this heal something serious? And if we want, we could also use the dial here. Well, what intensity of healing does this have? But generally, you want to ask just in general, is this herb strong to take care of serious problems? So again, we're getting clockwise. It looks like a pretty good spin. So apparently this seems to be a very strong herb. Again, I've never heard of it. Oh, okay, here's the actual, we'll see the name of the herb there. And one tablet, what does it say? One? Let me see on here. One tablet is 400 milligrams, and they're putting in magnesium of 100 milligrams. And magnesium is always something you can use. We all need lots and lots of magnesium, very critical for your body to work. That and potassium, I don't think anybody gets enough of. So there's 100 milligrams, and I think it's per tablet here. So it's showing that this has so that's very important. Is it strong enough to do anything? Something may be okay for you and you don't have a problem with it personally or in general, but will it heal? On the healing scale of 1 to 10, what does this read? Let's hold it over the out plate where the energy is coming out of. That's not a trend plate, people. I don't know what trends they're looking at. Does that mean bell bottoms or funny looking tattoos? There's no such thing as a trend. So the bottom line is this is the out plate. So the energy's in here and out here. Let's turn it here. What does it come up in terms of on a scale of 1 to 10? 10, of course, being the best. What is the strength of this as a healer? Try to get a little bit movements. See if we can get a little stronger. Let's see. Well, it is. That's a pretty good spin, meaning that we're on the correct number. And we didn't go very high. So this is saying a 2 here. So it's not a super strong healer. It's only got the energy of a 2. So the bottom line is that it's probably not going to be something that is going to take care of serious situations. Now, if you get into things like echinacea and combinations and certain over mixtures I've made, and there's also another problem here. This is in the powdered form. Powder is garbage. Now, one of the easiest ways to make an extract, of course, is to make a tea. And, of course, when you make a tea, you're extracting something. You're also making a liquid out of it. And you're drinking it fresh, and it goes right into your stomach, and it's able to be used that way. But a powdered form of this actual herb in a capsule like this, ultimately, in terms of the bigger picture, has a low healing capacity. While it's generally good, it is not something that's a knock out of the park, so to speak. And again, you notice that we are using, of course, your activation plate. We have the line laser going right through the substance, so it makes sure it goes through the system. And then, of course, you jet. Now, all radionic machines work like that. These are old style, but they're made very well. You can see we have copper tape here. We even have copper screws. Everything in here is made of the finest quality. And inside of the wiring, while it is the old type of wiring, which will be replaced with new scalar wiring in the future, is still good wiring. And this is still an excellent unit with a beautiful little walnut beautiful box. When I was making these, they didn't have Michaels, so I could buy a craft box for $3. So I mean, that's the reality that's out there. So that's how you properly check something. This is all lost. This is also how you would make homeopathic preparations and other things, which I'll show in the future. These will all be more detailed and in greater explanations will be in my course upcoming. We do have already some information up in our Great Path course. You should check that out. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And, of course, you can always support us at Patreon for a small amount of money per month. If enough people do that, it becomes a serious amount of money to assist. But that way you get all the updates and everything else, because less and less is going on YouTube here because YouTube doesn't support us. So we don't really want to support them. So the whole idea is that if you get on Patreon with these things, you're able to assist the process and find out about things, get a whole bunch of information you can't find here. We also have a lot of free stuff up there as well. So it's a great opportunity for a very, very low cost, and you can find out what's going on. And we also share our opinions and our prophecies on what's happening in the world and everything else. It's not really politics. It's what truth is and what is best for everybody. This is no longer shared publicly for numerous reasons, but those who really want to get into that as well will find out there as where you can get all the juicy information that we don't really share here. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. As I said, make sure you like and subscribe.